So this is my first project. I'll just be doing a simple calculator using the if else statement with C programming. So here I go. So first off, I include libraries. So what we need here is the standard input output header. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. I felt just nervous. So standard input output, that's the header. And yeah, so this is my main function. This is my main function right here. Okay. Oh, uh, okay. So cool. So there is it. So first of all, let's say this is what I'll be doing first. Um, I'll list my variables. So list variables. Afterwards, I take in input. So let's also call that taking input. Taking input. Then lastly, calculate. Calculate. So let's call that calculation. So these are the three steps. I mean, three things I'll be doing. You could call it features or whatever you want to call it. But these will let's say there's the itinerary that will guide me to draft the code. But yeah. So first of all, I'll be using double of the first number is a calculator, so we just need the first number and also the second number. So if we do record a number one and the second number number two, then we need an operation. So let's call that variable OP plus the operation. And yeah, so that was it. So we move to taking input. So taking input, first of all, we take in the first input. So nervous. So enter the number. Let's do enter a number. Enter a number. Okay, that's cool. You enter a number. And then we store the number in the scanf function. So since it's a double, we use the format LF right here. Yeah, cool. And we'll be storing that in the variable number one. Yeah, pretty much. It's that simple. Then move on to the operation. So it's a simple calculator. So the operation, everybody knows it. It's just the four arithmetic operations. So enter an operation, enter an operation. Yeah, cool. Enter an operation. And then we store that operation also in the OP variable. So yeah. So with that, the format we'll be using is the C. But then you're supposed to leave a space in front to actually store it, otherwise it won't work. So we store that in OP. Yeah, OP, I guess. Oh, almost forgot one thing. Yeah, to take in input to bring the end sign over here. Yeah, that's it, bring the end sign to take in input. So printf, you enter the number again, enter the number again. So this is the second number. Not too hard, same process. You could just copy and paste and move on. But then there's a project I'm documenting, so I wouldn't want to go for any shortcuts here. So yeah, I store that also in the LF main format. So store that in num2. So yeah, that was all. These are you taking input for your simple calculator. And then we move to the calculation aspect. So this is where we compute everything using the if statement. So first of all, you call the if function. And inside the function, I mean the parentheses over there, you give it a condition. So let's say if the operation if the user inputs the plus operation over there, then this was supposed to be going. This was supposed to happen. So then you print. First of all, I'd like to show the results as in 1 plus 1 equals Bob. So if I'll show you 1 plus 1 equals, I will need to draft it in a certain way. And now, since it's a double, I'll need two decimal places. So then if I need two decimal places, I'll use the formatter. That was where, so let's say I'll use the formatter, two decimal place over here, F. And also, this is what I want in the output. Like I want 1 plus 1. So like I'll just call a variable to replace what's in the output over here. That's why I'm doing it that. And whatever number the user input will give us two decimal places. So you say I brought a point 0.2. So that means two decimal places. It's a double, so double means decimals numbers. So then I go on again, point 0.2 F again. Then I bring the equal to, and I go another point 0.2. That's simply the answer. So whatever it computes, it brings it out as an answer. So then I give it a new line above. So this is where it gets really tricky, but then not so tricky. So you see the first one over here, you call the num1 variable over there. So whatever was stored in num1 will appear in the output, I mean in the first parts of the computation. But so let's say num1, but I give it a comma. Now after the comma, whatever variable I put here, it takes in the number, then it replaces it in a point 2f, the second part. So that'll be num2. Yeah. And then after the equal to is where the answer will be. So that means I'll do num1 plus num2 over there so that it gives me the results as in num1 plus num2 out over there above. So num1 plus num2. So pretty much, yeah. So that's for the addition operation. But then moving on, you will need the other three. So you go else if you call that function also, and you state a condition in the parentheses over there. So op because let's go a minus, so op minus, and then yeah, and then I print an output. Same procedure, you can just copy and paste and you change the operation. So let me go real quick, printf. Yeah, you always need two variables or the output. So a new line, and then num1, num2, and then the total is a num1 plus num2. So pretty much that's all. But then to move real quick, I'll need to copy this up to here, Control C, and then I'll duplicate it to move real quick, but Control V. So I'll just change the operations to the times, and also here to the times, and then here to the times. Oh, I missed something right here. It's supposed to be a minus. Okay, cool. I go again, Control V. I change it to division, and also division, and also division. Else, else. So let's say if the user doesn't input any of these operations, we want to output a statement saying invalid. So else you print invalid input. Oh, come on, bro. Invalid input. Yeah. So now you are done with the code. So let's try running it and see if we miss anything in it. Oh, error. What does it say? If else print. So so here's the error. To output a variable, you use the printf function instead of print. Most programming languages use print. So that's it. So this is it. So enter a number. Let's try and see. Let's say 45. An operation, let's go with plus. An operation, let's go on 8. So this is a simple calculator using the if else statement. So yeah, you could add a few touches to it, but then I'll keep you right here. I wouldn't want to go further in this one. Maybe there's a new video. I'll try using the while loop. So stay tuned. 10 minutes.